Guys, welcome to the channel. Without fucking, let's go to more videos, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Big Ray explains why the Seahawks run game is stuck. It's tough for anybody to put a smile on their face when talking about the Seattle Seahawks running game, but former NFL offensive lineman Ray Roberts managed to do so during a conversation Tuesday with Seattle sports Wyman and Bob. How is Seahawks Mike Macdonald coming along as head coach? The Hawks managed just 84 yards on the ground in Sunday's win over the New York Jets, fewer than their 88.7 rushing yards per game that ranks fifth worst in the league. So with 5 games remaining, host Bob Stelton wondered if it is time to accept this is who the Seahawks are, and with those limitations being known, if it means it is on the coaches to call the plays accordingly regardless of how it looks. For Roberts, who was ready with a colorful analogy, the answers aren't that simple. I think of it more like when I get asked to come to events and I've got to dress up, and I go to my closet and I put on a sport coat and a shirt and a tie and pants and shoes and socks and none of it matches, said Roberts, who played 9 NFL seasons and is now a Seahawks radio network analyst. And it's not the jacket's fault, and it's not the pants' fault, and it's not the socks' fault or the shoes' fault. It just is what it is. Like, I'm gonna walk in and, who put this dude out in public like that? And that's what I think of when you look for why this running game isn't working. The visual prompted the smiles and provided a reminder that the running game is a sum of its parts. Each part important on its own, but needing to work with the other parts to be complete. The first focus for Roberts? The O-line. When I watch the offensive line play, I don't see them executing the little things that they practice, he said. The footwork, the pad level, the hand placement and the finish. You don't see that in the games, and so that is either like a lack of trust in the techniques or just being lazy in the techniques. Or you go, man, I don't know it. I can't execute it that well. So I'm gonna go back to what I'm comfortable doing, which can be something that doesn't help the play. Roberts pointed to a number of examples he saw in the Seahawks win over the Jets, where proper blocking technique could have opened lanes or made things more difficult on the defense. It's little things like that where I saw them practicing these little things all through training camp. It just hasn't translated from the practice field to the game, and that matters a lot. Those little things have to happen before the big things happen, he said. As for play calling, Roberts sees a work in progress that is trending in the right direction. I think they haven't quite figured out what plays to call and what types of blocks to execute that work well with this offensive line, he said. I think the last few weeks they found a couple of things where they've had some good double teams, especially between center Olu Oluwatimi and right guard Anthony Bradford before he went out, and then Olu and Sateo Alloumi this week. Also Big Charles's, Cross, and Laken Tomlinson had a couple of good double teams on the left side. So they found some things that can work with. Now they have to figure out how to dress that up so they can keep doing that. It is not all O-line, however. The running backs factor into the puzzle as well. You want to have this physical, powerful running game, but you have a scat back, said Roberts, referring to third-year running back Kenneth Walker III. You have a guy that wants to cut things back and make people miss and make big plays, which is all great. Love that he can do that, but it doesn't quite mesh with how they want to run the football. Against the Jets, Walker was stuffed from the 1-yard line on third down in a drive that ended with the Seahawks turning the ball over on downs. If he had followed the fullback in, he would have scored the touchdown. But his first instinct was to cut it back, so he hesitated, took a step to his left and then tried to go back to his right, and then the backside pursuit caught him and they tackled him in the backfield. There is a lot to address, but with that comes a lot of opportunity for improvement at a time in the season where improvement will have the most impact. It's a lot of little things, Roberts said, like my coat and my shirt and my tie and my socks and my pants and my shoes. They're just not all matching up, and so I think in order for them to have some type of progress down the stretch here, they have to find more of those things that match up. It may not be everything, but man, those pants better match the socks. Or the shirt better match the top, you know? I'm saying, like, find something. Jarran Reed on 100 career games with Seahawks, I'm doing something right. When Jarran Reed left the Seahawks after the 2020 season, He believed he would find his way back to Seattle at some point. The business side of the game led to Reed being released in the spring of 2021, and he went on to spend the next 2 seasons with the Chiefs and Packers. Last season, however, the Seahawks brought Reed back, and he went right back to being what he was during his first 5 seasons in Seattle, a disruptive interior line presence and a leader on defense. "I knew I was coming back," Reed said. "In my opinion, I always say I felt like I shouldn't have left, but life throws a bunch of learning curves, man. You live to learn, and it was good to go play for 2 other organizations. I played for 2 other great coaches. Now I'm playing for my 4th great coach." And when he suited up for the Seahawks in Sunday's win over the Jets, Reed hit a pretty significant career milestone, playing his 100th game for the franchise, making him the 50th player in franchise history to appear in 100 games. "It means a lot," Reed said of playing his 100th game as a Seahawk. "I'm doing something right, hopefully I can keep doing something right, but I really didn't even notice it until I think my mom had said something. We were just talking on the phone, and I was like, dang, well, that is a lot, especially for one organization. I'm blessed. I'm just thankful to be here so I can keep doing it. I'm doing something right if they keep me around, so obviously let's keep it that way." Like other players who have left Seattle and played for other teams, Reed came to appreciate all the Seahawks have going for them, not just on the field but also as an organization. "I love Seattle, I love the fans," he said. "This organization is first class, a high-class organization. Man, I have respect for John, Schneider, and Jody, Allen, and everybody who makes it possible for us as Seahawks and to go out there and perform and do what we do. It's been a long time. From the time I got drafted here, I think I said this in an interview before I knew I was getting drafted, I felt it. So being here, it is another home for me. I have nothing but respect for the people around the building. Stu, McNabb, Spider, Kevin Martinez-Jara, my guy, in the cafeteria, they're my guys. EK, Eric Kennedy, and the equipment room, Strick, David Strickland, and CJ, Newman, all the guys in the training room. I have nothing but respect for everybody around me. I try to treat everybody with respect and show them the respect that they deserve. They do a lot for us to be able to go out here and perform and do what we do as well." Reed, who turns 32 later this month, is in the final year of the deal he signed last year, but he hopes to continue his career in Seattle and retire as a Seahawk. "Of course, I want to stay," Reed said. "I want to retire here. I mean, I've been here basically my whole career except for 2 years. Like I said earlier, this is home, man. So I would definitely like to end it off here, however long that may be. Who knows? But I control what I can." And controlling what he can this season, Reed has been a big part of the Seahawks' recent success. His numbers this season, 2.5 sacks, 31 tackles, 3 tackles for loss and 10 quarterback hits, are certainly respectable for an interior lineman, but they don't tell the full story of his impact on Seattle's defense. Leonard Williams, for example, is quick to point out that his recent big games, which included 4.5 sacks in the last 2 games, are in part of the result of the play of the linemen around him, Reed included. And while it's hard to measure, Reed's leadership has also been big, particularly for first-round pick Byron Murphy too. "There's a lot Jay Reed's done," defensive coordinator Aiden Durd said. "He's a very, very good pass rusher. He has the ability to play multiple positions, and that helps us on our front, his versatility. And then kind of as a leader in the room behind the scenes, how he brings up Murph and the guys around him, both him and Leo are doing a great job." And you fans? What did you think of this news? Leave your opinion in the comments.